Hi, and welcome to another edition of Couple of Idiots Travel the Country. Today we are in Baltimore Airport. Welcome. We are reviewing Ironman 70.3 Maryland.
Eagleman.
Sorry, Eagleman in Maryland.
Yeah.
So we
The
had
shirt says Eagleman.
yeah, and it actually doesn't say Maryland.
No.
That's fair. Seems like we should tell the people where we are, really. So we had a great time.
Baltimore is in Maryland. If you need a geography lesson, Baltimore.
We should really start over.
What are you talking about? We're good.
So, okay, we'll just painfully soldier on. So we had a great time. I think we have some pretty good stories from this one.
Yeah.
So we just finished racing. You want to start from the beginning? Start from we can't find a rental car to fit our enormous amount of junk.
So planning is not my strong suit, and somehow I got roped into planning for this race. I don't know how that happened. I specifically remember stating, "Hey, I'll do all these races if I don't have to do any of the planning." I don't
recall that at all.
I recall that 100%.
None of that.
Anyway, so since I'm planning, of course everything's going to happen this week. And actually, Charlotte did all the planning.
It's fair.
So she found out.
So you still did none of the planning.
Well, I got the U-Haul.
Spoilers.
So anyway, we didn't have a place to stay, and Cambridge has 12,000 people in it. I mean, like literally, the city of Cambridge has 12,000 people, and there's like 2 hotels, and of course they're booked because you got 2,000 people coming in for a race. So there's nowhere for us to stay. So luckily, we lucked out, and I mean, we got the best place we've. I don't know how we. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Tom. Our host, Tom.
Appreciate it, Tom.
Was the best. So we stayed in his house, and he hooked us up with meeting a whole bunch of people. I think he knows everybody in town. And anyway, so that worked out pretty cool. But we need a rental car. So we got 2 bikes, and they're huge. And so you need a big rental car, right? So you need a large SUV. You can't even a standard sized SUV doesn't work. A truck, a minivan, or a large SUV. So you had none of that was available. So Sydney comes up with a bright idea. Hey, why don't you get a U-Haul? Well, as a matter of fact, U-Haul has vans. I mean, they're cargo vans, and they also have trucks. But we opted for the cargo van, which was actually a pretty good decision because it rained on us, and so all of our stuff would have gotten wet, including maybe Sam. I think Sam rode in the back on the way there. Sydney rode in the back on the way back to the airport. But anyway, so we got a U-Haul, and it worked marvelously. I mean, we got lots of comments on the U-Haul too.
So Billy tells me, let's get a U-Haul. I'm instantly on the internet looking for any other option. Anything. Please, smoke signal, something. This is a terrible idea. I couldn't find anything. Not literally anything. So we're in a U-Haul. And I'm imagining the wheels falling off, all of the terrible things that happened to U-Haul. And it was amazing. I was absolutely dead wrong. So we're going out. And the flight out on Friday was early for me. I guess, to be fair, y'all have to drive to the airport. So
yeah, I think you get to Atlanta before we do.
So I think I got up at 3-something in the morning. So I'm in the back, and I take a nap on the whole way there.
I've got to drive this thing, and he's in the back sleeping,
snoring away. And then of course I wake up and complain because it's a it's a cargo van. They didn't design it for sleeping, and so there was no comfort. So we have some improvements for next time. Bring a blanket, maybe a pillow. But that was pretty amazing.
I think we're going to rent like the moving blankets next time from you-Haul, so we make sure we have some padding. When we're at the U-Haul place, we need to add some moving blankets on there.
Oh man, worthwhile investment. But yeah, it worked out great. We'll definitely do that again. So warn you with the seat. The van has bucket seats, so if you have more than 2 people, you do not have enough seat belts. There was a magic seatbelt in the back so that we're not admitting to any moving violations on camera. It was magic. I don't ask how it worked, but it allowed you to sleep in the back. Yeah, the van was great. But everywhere we were in a U-Haul van, which sticks out a little bit when everybody else is in a reasonable car from Maryland.
Oh, we drove everywhere. I mean, we drove everywhere. The grotric store, the
We go to the
check-in. I
the
mean, everywhere.
pizza shop, and the guy's like, triathlon? You needed room for the bikes? Yes.
As a matter of fact,
he knew
we did.
exactly what we were doing. So that was fantastic. But, it worked out great. So, Tom, we got to tell that story.
Oh, my goodness. Our host, we stayed at his house. He hooked us up, knows everybody in town. We got to meet the mayor of Cambridge, got to meet the head of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
I mean, he even hooked us up with a newspaper interview. We'll have to see if that article comes out. I mean, this guy knows everybody. And on top of that, he was the captain of the swim volunteers.
Yeah.
So we got to give him a high five on the way out, and we got to give him a high five on the way in. He was there for us when we got out of the swim.
And the finish line.
And then at the very finish line, when we're coming across the finish, there's Tom.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Oh, super friendly guy. If you do this race, absolutely. I think he tries to rent out the whole house, and we just happen to get lucky and get a room. Sign up early, get that house. He is an amazing host. It's everything you hope it could be.
If nothing else, just give him high fives at the end of the day. I've got my favorite Tom story I'll tell later, but it's he's the man.
Yeah.
Tom, you're the man.
All right. So the race. So, with the lesson.
Tell us about the swim.
Okay. So he and I start out together.
I go first.
It was
We've been
his
alternating.
turn to go first.
Yeah. Sam's a much better swimmer than I am, so he's always going to go faster. But that's all right. I went first.
So that I could elbow him in the back. Traditionally, when he starts first, I get to play catch up, and I have come in first. It has not worked out that way this time. He was much faster. But it's fun to switch. Swim. We met a lot of people. Very friendly today. Had a lot of fun. Got in the water. It's narrow on the way out, and so you're on top of one another. And then, of course, you're going out. It's in a bay, so you go out to inside of the bay, and then you come out and you get in the current, and then come back. You've kind of got to fight the current to get back, into shore. Playing with that. How am I doing so far?
Yeah, you hadn't got to the part. So tell us about the beginning of your swim.
It's
crowded.
Lots of people. We saw Tom. We had Tom right there. He was the guy for our line, just coincidentally.
What happened in the beginning when you were first swimming?
I have no idea. I was just swimming.
Yeah, but you were. What I heard you say earlier was you were swimming over people. Is
I
that
was
correct?
definitely swimming over, around, through.
Yeah. So, check this out. I'm swimming along. Somebody hits the side of me. I'm like, oh. So I kind of turn over to see if they're coming towards me or if I'm going crooked or whatever. All I see is this great big hand and this white shirt with a red spot on it and a black ring. And it grabs my head and it pushes me all the way under the water. And I think he used me to push off and go faster. I don't know that it was Sam because I didn't see his face. All I saw was the white shoulder with the red patch and the black ring. Now, if you can find somebody else in the race that has a white shirt with a red patch and a black band, then I'll say, okay, maybe it wasn't Sam, but I'm pretty sure it was Sam.
I don't think we were
swimming. And I think he tried to kill me.
In the same water. I couldn't see 3 feet in front of my face.
I was
and
above
you're
the
over
water.
here very descriptive on what you saw. In no possible way could you have seen
Because it was this great big hand that grabbed onto
I
my
have
face and
tiny
it pushed
hands.
me under the water. It had to be you. I think you were trying to kill me.
It didn't work?
No, it didn't. But you beat me by 7 minutes on the swim.
I'm sorry, man. You all right? I have absolutely no memory of this event.
Because he was just swimming over people. It didn't matter who it was.
Yeah.
I'll swim over anybody.
I was swimming over a lot of people at the beginning. So I I clearly chose. I don't know. I swam over a lot of people at the beginning, and then I got swam over a lot at the end. So I chose the right spot, but so lesson learned. Sorry, man.
I got swam over. I wouldn't say a lot, but I got swam over a fair amount. We started early. We had a flight to catch, so we needed to get out of the water.
Yeah.
That's what's happened the last couple weeks. But all right, so tell us about bikes.
That's funny. So
That was my story for the morning. Pretty much everything else was uneventful. you get kind of caught up in the end where people are swimming over you, but everybody gets swam over there.
So we get out of the swim, and that's kind of a long run between the end of the swim and your transition area.
Yeah, it's kind of a job.
So
you're barefoot, but you're going through grass.
Yeah, I didn't really have any issue with it. Oh, it's fine. Bike is super fast. I met a lot of I'm talking to people, whether they want to be talked to or not. And there were a lot of cases not. So had a good time, but met some fun people. It was hilarious. So I'm biking with one guy who I'm telling him the story. He's like, "Oh, Tom told me about you." Tom knows everybody in Cambridge.
Tom's the man.
If you need something, call Tom. He knows everybody. It was hilarious. So yeah, lots of friendly people on this one. Had a great time. This was a fast bike. I have not seen my mileage yet. I'm over 20, I think. So that'd be a PR for my bike. Period.
Yeah, the bike. So this week, the bike. Last week at the bike, at an hour and 55 minutes and change, I was at mile 30. This week on the bike, at an hour and 56 minutes and change, I was at mile 40. I mean, that's how much faster the bike is.
This is a huge difference.
I mean, the end of last week's bike was a little bit faster than this one, but still, it was a big difference. It was super flat. I got plenty of energy today. Last week, I was just beat after all that.
I got off of that bike and I was ready to quit. I mean, just be done, but ready to be done. This time my butt hurt, but I don't know what that was. Great bike, great streets.
I mean, even the bridges were flat. Everything was flat.
That was funny. I talked to one girl from Northern Virginia for a little while, and I wind up seeing her again on the run. She catches up with me on the run, so we'll cover that in a little bit. But yeah, lots of interesting people. A lot of the people here are from this region. I did not meet. I saw one dude with a gate hat at the end. So the gate, gives out the 10%. That's Jacksonville race. Yell at him. Is that a gate hat? Yeah.
How'd you know?
I don't know if he was from Jacksonville or not, but he was excited. But yeah, great people, but a very regional race. I did not see a lot of. Excuse me, that's not fair. Half of Columbia was here. I don't know if you saw all the Colombian uniforms.
Nope.
So.
Oh yeah, COL.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So yeah, I guess they're also looking for fun, fast races. But they all spoke great English. So that was fun. I met a dude from New York that was from France. He's excited about our Vindy trip. I met a guy from England that I was like, "How did you get here?" And he's like, "No, I've been here." No. How did you get in the United States? Because we want to go to Britain and we can't figure out how. He's like, "Oh, I'm military, mate. I've been here for 2 years and I'm stuck." So, okay.
Can't get back.
Got it. He can't get back. We're not getting back either. So that was fun. But you have any fun bike stories?
And my bike was pretty uneventful. I mean, I talked to a guy.
You ride like this.
No, I mean, I didn't even catch you on the bike, so we must have been doing about the same speed. So, yeah, I mean.
You came in, you couldn't have come in but right behind me. You couldn't have been far behind me.
Yeah, so I don't really have any great stories for the bike. All right, we had to change spots because it was getting crowded and we needed to get closer to our gate, and our flight's coming up not too much longer, so we probably need to finish up on our stories. But
as it turns out, we are no good in front of a studio audience.
They were all murmuring, so if you got a bunch of feedback or voices or whatever on the other video, sorry, but everybody came over to see what we were doing, I guess.
Sure were. So, run.
Okay, so the run, I'm going to tell you, I got off the bike and I started to run and I felt so good. I don't know why. other than, last week was so hot.
Yeah, I'm going to say 81 degrees and 60% humidity had something to do with it.
Yeah. So I started off running, and I was running a little bit faster than I normally do. But I've run that fast before, but I was able to hold that pace, and I got to mile 10. I don't know. I guess I got to mile like 6.5, and I knew I could set a PR.
Nice.
And I got to mile 10, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a good time. And I got to mile 12, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a really good time. So that was, I knocked, 6-7 minutes off my PR. So that was actually pretty cool.
Awesome.
Flat run. I had several people that paced me correctly, and there was one guy. So our tri suits, on the back of them, they have the how many races remaining till we break the world record, and we're on line 2 now. So we've marked off all of line 1, and we've marked off 1 on line 2. And they got a lot more attention this week than they have before. So I had several people stop and talk, and what? This is your 5th race in 5 weeks? Were you kidding me? That kind of stuff. There was a young guy that I ran with at like mile 12 to mile maybe 12.5 or 12 3/4, and I was like, come on, man, you got it. And this was his first triathlon, and I ended up I finished before him, but I ended up seeing him. He was like, oh, hey, Crozier, how you doing, man? Thank you so much. I tried to keep up with you, but I was cramping up a little bit. And I was like, oh, man, first triathlon, you did great. What was your time? And he was like, I don't even know. It was like 5:20 or something. I was like, man, see? I was like, I've never done a race that fast. You're awesome. So that was nice. We did get a lot more attention with our suits, and I guess maybe because it wasn't as miserable.
Probably.
Last week nobody said anything about our suits. I kind of understand in Austria it's in English, and everybody's like, these stupid Americans. They're never going to set this record. They can't even run fast or bike fast or anything.
Finish in the top anything.
Yeah,
they finished in the bottom 10.
So we're glad to be back in America where
we're average.
We're not bottom of the barrel.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
You have some run stories?
I had a blast on the run. I met a lot of fun people. Man, I'm out there having a good time. I don't know. Billy flies by me at something.
We ran together
like
for a little while. Don't even tell me I flew by you.
I barely even saw him. It was just a flash.
You just saw a red dot on his
and this hand
as I
came out of nowhere. It was so unnecessary. I don't even know why he did that. It's just so mean.
I did not do that.
He didn't. But he might in the future. And now I'll at least know why. Oh, it was funny. I met a lot of people. I've stopped asking anybody's names because my brain's not working. But somehow the part of my brain that recognizes where they're from. Okay. So I just kept calling. Hey, where are you from? Some of them would say such and such New York. Oh, New York. How's it going? So I'd see him later in the race. Hey, New York, good to see you. But the girl that I rode with for a good while on the bike, we talked a little bit, and then I got ahead. Winds up catching up with me on the run, and so this was her very first half, and then she signed up for the full, both Maryland, and so this was a test to see how it goes. So we ran the last mile together. She's like, "Go ahead." I was like, "No, come on, let's go together. You're doing great." Trying to be supportive, especially your first is always brutal. She's like, "You're doing great. Appreciate you saying all these things." I was like, "No, don't worry. I'm saying them for me. You just happen to also be here. We're doing great. We're gonna make it. We're not gonna quit. The end is just ahead.
Is just over there.
I see the finish sign.
We're almost there."
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So she catches up with me. Florida. So I'm not the only one who did it. But yeah,
he never stops talking. Never stops talking. He'll talk to anybody. He just keeps asking people questions until finally somebody starts talking to him, and it's like, "Oh, you're my new friend."
Yeah. So and eventually we'll see them in races again. I don't know why we're not seeing them in back-to-back weeks. That's very strange. So
he looks like a white ghost out there with all his sunscreen on and everything. I can't believe anybody talks to him. They're probably just looking at him like, are you a real person?
Yeah. So we come in from the bike, and I always reapply sunscreen because I don't want to hurt later.
I should have.
Yeah.
I put sunscreen on my neck, but I'm all red.
Big talk from the man who's going to be rolling in his sleep tonight. So obviously there's not a mirror in transition. We might need to put that in my kit bag somewhere. We'll just at least hang a mirror so I can see. But yeah, it just gets squirted and smeared. And in no particular order. So I will have red marks in splotches. But yeah, it looks terrible. But I can't see it, so it doesn't really matter to me. And halfway through, it's then terrible and sweaty and just coming off. But yeah. People are apparently friendly when...
Yeah, it works for you. Good for you for putting sunscreen on. I know Charlotte would like me to put sunscreen on just like that. I put it on my neck this time. I did, I promise.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. It was also very white.
Twice. Because I put it on before the bike and before the ride.
Well, check it out, man.
Yes, sir.
So, when I was swimming, I tried to, I was trying to rub it in. I was
you were trying to give me some sunscreen. You still have some sunscreen on your hand. That's what you were doing.
I just saw there was too much on your neck.
Okay.
Because obviously,
I didn't put it on before
somehow
the swim.
In this brackish water that you couldn't see anything in, he could clearly make out my uniform. He was calling out numbers.
It wasn't the uniform. It was just the arm, and the arm was above the water as I looked up to see the hand.
If you're underwater, you can't see it. This is I don't believe this is hogwash. But yeah, this was a lot of fun race. We had a good time. We went back to so we see Tom at the finish line.
Yeah,
who was awesome. He was having a blast, man. I think he's
everywhere.
I
don't know. He probably went back after he finished the swim. Went back and took a nap. And he came back to see us at the finish line.
So we go back to the house and shower, pack up the bikes, load the U-Haul back up, and for some reason, Sydney called shotgun in the back. I don't know what that was that we got up at 3-something in the morning again. No idea. So we're 5 minutes in and they're snoring. I was like, man, is there something?
Everybody gets to take a nap in the U-Haul except me. I've got to drive the thing. What was up with that? I put Sam on there as a driver. We made sure they had his driver's license. But no, I'm driving all the time. Everybody else is sleeping.
So, highly recommend the old back of the U-Haul sleep.
That might be where we're sleeping for Des Moines. We don't have a place yet.
So, U-Haul Des Moines, we're looking at you guys. You're going to need some help. I'm hoping you're close to the airport.
They have a little plug-in, so we could probably put some air mattresses in there.
It was fine. I really can't complain. So maybe get the truck if we got two air mattresses. So we might need some more room.
All right. So you got any other stories for the race that you want to talk about?
No, man.
I still have my last Tom story, but I'll leave that for very last.
Okay.
You're good?
I'm out. I'm dry.
Okay, so we're talking to Tom, and he's telling us. So he's the swim captain or the volunteer captain for both the half and the full. He's like quasi president of the Ironman club here in Cambridge. He's just involved in everything. So last year COVID hit. They didn't do either of the races, and I don't remember. Maybe it was September or something. Whatever day Ironman, it must have been September because that's when they do it the weekend that Chattanooga does. So that's in September. So he's out. They canceled full Ironman Maryland. So it's Ironman Maryland. This is Ironman Eagleman 70.3 Eagleman, but the full is called Ironman Maryland. It's in Cambridge. And I think he has a blast doing that stuff. But anyway, he's going through town. He might have been eating or something. I don't remember exactly what he was doing, but he sees these people with like camelbacks on, running, or maybe they were biking. I don't, whatever they were doing.
Running, post dinner, they're running.
Okay, so he's like, are there people out there doing the Ironman? And so he goes out, he checks, and there were a fair. There were some.
Yeah, he said there were a couple of groups
of people doing Ironman Maryland on their own. So no support, no. It was just, hey, I've trained for this all year. I'm going to do it. He's like, man, I've been doing this for years, and they always have extra medals, so I've got extra medals at my house. He went, found a megaphone, grabbed a bunch of medals that he had at his house, and as they were crossing the finish line, he'd announce their name through the megaphone and give them a medal.
Awesome.
I mean, how cool is that?
That's
you
super
know,
awesome.
You're out there and just doing it for the love of it. So Tom is the man.
Oh
And
yeah, kudos,
that was my
man.
favorite story of the whole weekend.
That was an awesome
I mean, you know,
story. That's so meaningful.
you get people that stop and help other people, or they'll encourage them on the run. I mean, Sam's always encouraging people on the run or the bike or whatever. And you know, trying to uplift other people, but just have a volunteer out there and announcing people's names for a race that they're just doing on their own. That was pretty cool. So thanks, Tom, man. That was the best story. If you ever watch this, that was the best story that I heard all weekend. Thank you. I mean, that was just inspirational to me.
Oh
So,
yeah, I loved it. That was awesome. So thank you guys for watching. We are headed to Des Moines next week.
Yeah, man.
I don't actually know what to expect. We're gonna,
I hadn't even looked
we'll
at the race course.
sign off and
Hadn't looked at the race course. Hadn't booked a hotel. Don't have a U-Haul or any kind of rental car. I don't know how this is going to work.
So I was saying that the logistics of this are almost as difficult, or maybe even more difficult than the racing. Maybe that's because we wait until the last minute. So
I think it's because you put it off on me. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this. Remember, I'm doing this as long as I don't have to do any of the logistics.
yeah, Charlotte does it. I don't know what part of that we didn't
that's true.
cover.
Charlotte actually found Tom for us. And, you know,
So
Thank you,
Charlotte,
baby.
I need a U-Haul, a hotel room, and you know, maybe a couple places to eat. If you could hook us up with that, that would be super helpful. You're gonna get in so much trouble for that.
I mean, it's already on my list of stuff to do. I'm supposed to be booking stuff for New Hampshire, and because that's the next weekend, right?
Oh, is it
I haven't
really?
even done that.
So we are
not great planners.
no,
I am not a great
and
planner.
we are trying to get into
Steelhead.
Steelhead. So I don't know. Stay tuned on that. We
met some new people.
yeah.
Ironman
we
community is a small world. Got to meet the Brant, the race director from last week. Was at this
Was
race.
here. Yeah. That was sorry. That was a funny story too. We met the head race official this morning. And hi, we'd like to get our picture with you. And of course, everybody we say that asks why. You know that we're.
She was like, "What?
What are you
I'm the
doing with that
official. I'm
picture?"
like the police. Nobody
Yeah.
wants pictures with the police."
So she's, you know, why do you need this? And hi, we're doing the world record. I
know about
too.
you guys. That means more paperwork for me.
It's like, wow, how do you know that? My husband was the head official for Chattanooga, and I watched him doing the paperwork.
Which
So,
was actually the best paperwork
the
I've ever seen.
best paperwork we've gotten so far. He did
Yeah.
a great job. So maybe we'll go 2 for 2 here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hilarious. She she knew exactly who we were.
It's a very small world.
So you know, we are out begging for race day check-in for Steelhead. We'll see if it turns out. Hopefully so. I don't know. Part of me says hopefully not, because that's going to hurt. That's not an easy race. So,
That'll make for some stories for sure.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
So thanks so much for watching. We'll see y'all next week.